So I made a wheels-up landing fairly close to his airplane, and incidentally, there's about 2 feet of snow on the ground. You couldn't see exactly what was under it, but the terrain looked reasonably safe to make a landing like that. And I landed somewhat successfully, but it was hard enough to have actually broken the windscreen. But the temperatures were very low. At night, the low is 35 degrees below zero, and I'm estimating, not having any way to prove it, about 0 to 5 degrees above zero, so it's quite cold. I landed about 100 yards from Jesse's airplane, and then had to go through the snow to get to his. And when I got there, Jesse saw me coming, and his words, without any indication of panic, were, "We've got to figure out a way to get out of here." Well, because of the snow, the soles of my boots were just like ice. It was very difficult to climb up to see what the story was in the cockpit. But I was able to do that by holding on with both hands. I could see that the way the fuselage was buckled, that his knee was pinned in, and he couldn't break himself free. When I got to him, he had taken his helmet off, and he'd taken his gloves off, and he apparently had dropped his gloves. His hands were absolutely frozen solid. And I had a spare wool cap in my flight suit, so I pulled that down over his ears because he dropped his helmet down also. But he was very lucid, but very quiet. He must have been in some state of shock from what he had just been through. But we were able to communicate a little bit, but communications were very difficult. So when I saw what the situation was that I couldn't move him, I went back to my airplane to use the radio, which was still working, and called for an axe and a fire extinguisher. Just what good they would do, I don't know, but the choices aren't very much in a situation like that. And then went back to the plane, and for something to do, took scoops of snow and threw it under the cowling, hoping that this would cause the smoke to abate, if not to put out whatever this incendiary source was. Well, about half an hour later, the helicopter did come. It took a while before he would land, because he was afraid that helicopter might slide down the hill, and also had a history of bad brakes, so that this Marine First Lieutenant, he left the support of his troops to come up to someone unknown. But after he landed, he saw the situation, and the two of us worked as much as we could to do something. More than anything else, we couldn't get the footing to do it. Well, the afternoon, it was about 3:30, 3:45 in the afternoon by this time. Twilight was coming, and he pulled me aside and told me that he had to leave because he didn't have the instrumentation in his plane to fly in those conditions. Gave me the choice of staying with Jesse or going with him. But staying with Jesse would have been suicidal. The temperatures were known to be as low as 35 below zero at night. And I'm guessing it was about 0 to 5 degrees then. So I made the choice to go with him, not knowing whether Jesse was even still alive, and we told him we had to go. We were going to get some more equipment to help get him out of the airplane. So Jesse didn't respond to that. He may have already passed away, we don't know.